Hey, it's Pastor Stephen at First Baptist Church, Watsonville, and today I have a question for you. How many of you have ever complained to God? Or thought, God, what are you doing? This is obviously not your plan, right? Maybe you're thinking about that right now with being stuck at home with your parents and with your siblings and can't see any of your friends. Thinking, God, what in the world are you doing? We are very tempted to complain to God about our lives. Sometimes we do our complaining with Christian-sounding prayers too. But if we're honest with ourselves, we're just grumbling. Now, the Israelites, God's special chosen people, they did a lot of complaining too. There was one instance that I want to highlight for us tonight. But before we start, let's set the stage, okay? The Israelites, they were slaves. They're doing hard labor for the Egyptians, making bricks. And then God saved them from this slavery and brought them out of the land of Egypt. So he basically sent 10 devastating disasters on the Egyptians, each with the purpose of showing he was more powerful than any of the Egyptian gods. Then he opened up the Red Sea so that they could cross right through the middle while walking on dry water. And then he sent that sea crashing on top of the Egyptian army that was trying to chase the Israelites to capture them and bring them back. So that's the backdrop of our story. Now, if you saw this, what would your response be? Amazement, praise, relief, thanks? Well, the Israelites, they had all of these emotions too, and they sang praises to God. And this is where our story starts. From there, they travel 3 days. They travel into the desert, they start running low on water, and they come to a spring that's bitter, that's undrinkable. Have you ever drank salt water? Or maybe got a gulp of seawater when you're at the beach? It doesn't taste that good. You want to spit it out. And if you drink it, it can cause you even more problems and make you sick or dehydrated. And so they couldn't drink it. They just wanted to spit it out. It would cause more problems if they actually drank it. And so these same people who saw God's amazing power demonstrated through the 10 plagues, through crossing the Red Sea, start whining, complaining, and grumbling. They completely forget about all the things that God just did. It's like, it's gone. They just forgot. But we find out from this passage in Exodus 15 that God was actually using this situation as a test for the people to see if they would trust him. And when we consider this as a test, they failed badly. Instead of coming to God and asking for help and knowing he can help, they grumble and complain, thinking God can't help them. But what's remarkable here is not the Israelites, but God's response. Even though the people failed miserably and have memory like that of a goldfish, God remained faithful and merciful. He ends up healing the waters and makes it so that they can drink it, and reminds them that he alone is the true God and healer. In the middle of crisis, we easily forget what God has done and how God has been faithful in the past. This is why it's so important for us to remember the things that God has done for us in our own personal lives, to think about the things that are good, to see how God has been faithful to us in the past, and that helps us understand how God is being faithful to us and good to us here in the present. So when our eyes are clouded with the current troubles, God is still there working and being faithful. And we need to remember that God is faithful and cares for us. The wonderful thing is that even when we forget, when we fail the test, God still loves us. God still shows forgiveness. He does this because he wants us to trust in him and follow his example. He wants to bring us back closer to relationship with him. So let's remember, God is faithful to love us, to take care of us. Even when we forget God, He does not forget us because He loves us. Well, that's it. Show love because we are loved. Bye.